This week on the Spotlight, we talked to a man who had the Tommy John surgery, and he's back. And we talked to manager Robin Ventura, but that's nothing compared to going to 1992 and talking to Robin Ventura. Oh, my God.
Hey, what's up, Patrick? This is D. Rose. I just want to say congratulations on your 1400 show. Hope you much success and continue to do your thing.
Check out my website, benkowski.com, for my weekly article and up-to-the-minute trivia sites. From wherever Chicago's sports teams are making news, this is the 27th year of the Sports Spotlight. Flowers for every imaginable occasion at Lansing Floral Shop. Call them at 708-474-1212. They deliver. You got to get to Calabria Imports, Italian Foods Deli. Mention this TV ad for a free Joe Tea with a sandwich order. It's at 1905 West 103rd Street. They have great stuff. I'll shop there. I'll see you there. Calabria Imports. You've got to get to the Cove. Benkowski Trivia, Wednesday, August 26th, 8 p.m. Great people, great game. With a 30-year Southwest Side tradition, Huck Finn is open 24 hours to serve you with great breakfasts like the Becky Thatcher, soups, great lunches, 1/3 pound burgers, clubs, and much more. Dinners from seafood to steaks to pasta, great donuts, and ice creams. With 3 locations at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Stop in today. You know Huck Finn is open. Calabria Imports has Italian foods and a great deli. You mention this TV ad, and you get a free Joe Tea with a sandwich order. Conveniently located at 1905 West 103rd Street, Calabria Imports has great stuff. Check it out. I do all the time. Since 1967, El Jardín has been serving the finest Mexican food. Before, after, or during ball games, located conveniently just 3 blocks south of Wrigley Field, 3335 North Clark. Whether there's a game or not, you still get hungry, and El Jardín has great service, great food, and great drinks. I've enjoyed every meal I've had there, and you will too. So get to El Jardín for great Mexican food at 3335 North Clark Street in Chicago. You'll be glad you did. You've got to get to Dr. Sherman Clay, chiropractor. Gentle adjusting. Most insurance accepted. Massage therapy, too. Walk-ins are welcome. Call 773-324-4325. That's HEAL. Dr. Sherman Clay. We're back on the Spotlight, and it's time to talk an uplifting story. One that, frankly, I was worried about. Nate Jones blew out his elbow a year and a half ago. And after undergoing Tommy John surgery, it's always a long road back. But Nate Jones is back. He's pitching in the major leagues. And one of the unique things of recent Tommy John surgery recipients is that they sometimes show a mile or two increase on their fastball. And Nate Jones is. And here's a guy who was 99 to begin with. So what a pleasant surprise to have Nate Jones back in the pen. This is a guy who did things like strike out 89 guys in 76 innings when he was with his first stint with the team pre-surgery. Not necessarily looking for more strikeouts from him, but in fact, as he will expound, looking for a more well-rounded pitcher with more weapons in his arsenal. We're back on the Spotlight. We're talking White Sox baseball. Nate Jones is back, and good to see you, and just waiting to see some of those good relief outings like we used to see when you first came up with this team.
Yeah, it's exciting to be back. It was a long road, but it was well worth it for sure once you get back and out there.
Your surgery, for those who might not realize about the time you've been away, I believe was the Tommy John surgery, right? And can you tell us a little bit about the setup of that, and then what doctor worked on you?
We went down to Pensacola to see Dr. Andrews, and he's one of the best, if not the best, at doing this particular surgery. And we had all the confidence in the world in it, and that's why we went down there to him. And It usually takes the average is around 12 months to get back. Some people take longer, some people take less. It just depends on the person and the rehab process and who they're with and whatnot. But I was very fortunate, obviously, to be working with one of the best with Herm Schneider and Brian Ball back there, and got to work with them, and just worked hard at it. Just worked hard at the rehab, because they say you get out of it what you put into it. So I didn't want to slack none, so we got after it.
Well, I was looking at the first 2 years with the Sox, and some really amazing strikeout totals, in your relief appearances, and then I was talking to somebody in your PR department. They said, and then he comes back and he adds a mile or two to his fastball. I said that you must be a little bionic right now.
Yeah, sometimes some people get fortunate enough to add and get stronger, and we'll see what happens. Just keep going with it. The main goal is just trying to throw strikes and putting up zeros and just leaving the score as it is once I leave.
Exactly. Well, one thing that a pitcher always tries to do to maybe improve his repertoire is maybe play around with another pitch or add a little something. Are you looking at that right now?
Oh, no. I guess the best thing about the whole rehab process and all the bullpens and sim games you get to use, you get to work on all those pitches. And so that third pitch, the changeup, I've always had it, but it was just an average pitch or whatever, so I got to work on that quite a bit and be able to throw that more for strikes and down in the zone. And I think that's one big thing that changed, I guess, during the process, was refining my changeup a little bit.
Yeah, you can blow people away only so much.
Yeah.
And if they're in the majors, they're probably going to catch up. But when you change speeds, you can really blow their mind.
Exactly. They always say, no matter how hard you throw, they're going to be able to time it and catch up to it eventually. So you got to have that second and third pitch just to keep them off balance, keep them off that heater. And hopefully I can do that.
Well, is there anybody older than yourself who you remembered having a great changeup, or anybody in this organization? I know John Danks had a pretty good one, if I recall.
Yeah, absolutely. Old Johnny's got one, and Chris Sale. You look at him; he's got a heck of a changeup. Both of them's left-handed, but I can still pick their brains a little bit on it and see what they do to take off the velocity off of it, because that's the biggest thing, is getting the big difference between your fastball and your changeup.
The problem I always had was I telexed it. My arm always slowed up. I couldn't get the motion. And what's the grip that keys the hard motion and then the slower release?
Yeah, that's the key to it all, is just the grip. They say throw it just like a fastball. So you're using that same arm motion, the same arm speed, just that grip. Either whether you choke it or if it's out on your fingertips, that's what makes the big difference in velo.
I right about here, then everything would go slow motion and they'd sit on it.
Yeah.
But good for you to have expanded to that. Now you come back and you're in the major leagues, and your team's still battling for this, playoff position. Do you feel the intensity, or are you guys not close enough to feel the intensity yet?
Oh no, we know that every game matters. That's why we take it one game at a time, because we're going to use all our effort to win that game. Win this game tonight. We're not out of it yet. That's our mentality. We're just going to grind it out and do the best we can to get there.
Well, you got some new faces since you were back. In a very short time, there's been some turnaround. Who impresses you amongst the new faces?
Amongst the new guys, you look at Carlos Sanchez and Tyler Saladino. They're guys came up through the system that I did not get to play with in the minor leagues, and you see them, and you just see the effort and the energy that they bring to the club, and that's huge. That's huge. As long as you bring it out on the field and in the dugout and in the clubhouse, it brings the camaraderie together and brings the whole team together. So it's awesome to see the success they're having, and I'm glad they're on my team.
Yeah. And then, Melky's really heated up in this past several weeks, and, man, he's putting up some numbers.
Yeah, absolutely. Melky's doing a heck of a job. He started off a little bit slow, but, it's no big deal because he's bringing it on now, especially when we need it and we need to win those games.
To wrap up, I don't know if you call it the mood of the clubhouse. You've kind of answered it already by saying each game is urgent. But from the top down, do you feel that there's a sufficient individual instruction, or are you so involved with Coop and the bullpen coaches that you don't really get to see it from the manager's point of view?
It comes from everybody because we want to win. No matter if we're in or out of it, we want to win as many games as possible. So it doesn't only come from Thiggy and Coop, but you can talked to Robin and Bernie about it. I mean, we want to win. We're here to win. We're not here to lose any. So we're gonna give it, everything we got each night. 100%, and that's what they expect of us, and that's what we expect of ourselves too.
All right. Well, good luck, and anxious to see you in some late inning situations.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right.
You've got to get to Lansing Floral Shop. Open at 8 a.m. daily. Besides a great array of live flowers, they have custom silks, Bridgewater candles. They want you to plan your parties early at a wide delivery area. They're located at 3420 Ridge Road in Lansing, or you can call 708-474-1212. Weddings, funerals, birthdays, anniversaries, and guys, try the No Reason flower. Believe me, it works. Lansing Floral Shop. Give them a call, 708-474-1212.
Kim G. Sherman, psychotherapist, Des Plaines Wellness Center. Therapy for individuals, couples, families. Call 847-962-4849. I've known Kim for over 20 years. She is a true professional, and she will help you. Give her a call. Family Dentist, Lawrence Furland, DDS, 109th and Kedzie, crowns, veneers, cleanings, improving your smile. They do a great job. Call 773-233-7044. Excellent work, impeccable. Call the Family Dentist, 773-233-7044. They did a great job for me, and they'll do a great job for you.
Nuevo Leon, for the best Mexican cuisine since 1962. Serving every day from 7 a.m. to midnight. Conveniently located 1515 West 18th Street, just a block east of Ashland in Chicago. Of course, they have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and a wide range of menu items. Everything from steak, seafood, to breakfast, to chicken, pork, dine-in, carry-out, tacos, enchiladas, everything you can imagine, and great quality at Nuevo Leon, 1515 West 18th.
Maybe for the first time in 5 years, 6 years, a press conference in August at Sox Park was affected by something happening with the Cubs, namely both home on the same day. And so a greatly diminished press turnout for Robin Ventura was accentuated not only by the Cubs' presence at home, but their situation as a potential playoff team, and the White Sox mired in 11th place out of 15 teams in the American League, still mathematically alive, but with a giant road to hoe and so many teams to pass, namely 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Yeah, that's 6 teams. They did beat the Angels in the first game of this series, the team that they're theoretically chasing. But the amount of work that needs to be done yet is just massive. And short of that 7-game winning streak against 2 last-place teams, we have yet to see that this year, that kind of consistent winning effort. So it's with that in mind, we talked to the White Sox manager, and understandably, the thing is pretty brief.
Chuck said he was able to do some good work today and
Yeah,
get closer to a rehab
He
assignment.
is getting closer. I think, for him, it's nice to see him start to, get outside and do some groundwork and, getting closer to going out on a rehab assignment to be able to see if he can play. So, as he gets better, you get to give him more, and, Herm's optimistic about where he's at right now.
Both Chuck and Bonifacio had kind of tricky injuries that can go on for a, but it seems like they've progressed pretty, not to jinx them, but they progressed pretty well going through the break.
But yeah, I mean, we're happy where they're at this point, and once they go out and start playing, we're going to get a better idea of what they can do. And it's one thing to go out here and run around a little bit, but once you play, it's a whole lot different as far as reacting, especially with a hamstring.
LaRoche just can't find it. How tough is it to watch him kind of just search a veteran like that?
Well, I mean, he's hit some hard. I mean, there's definitely frustration on his part. But I thought last night he had a couple good at bat, didn't really get anything out of it. But it's frustrating. I know what it feels like. It's not always fun to go through that. But knowing him and what he does every day, you like the fact that he's probably been through some some rough patches before, so he can withstand it and keep going. Know he can help us.
What's the plan with him, Robin? Do you still consider him an everyday guy, or are you looking more for matchups right now?
Well, I think right now you can match it up just because we have Trace here. If we have Shuck back, it might be a little bit different. If Bonnie comes back, it might be a little bit different. But having Trace, I think we can put him in there. We can get Melky time as a DH, get him a little bit of rest, so we can move Trace around the outfield.
But you still want to get him bad.
I would like to get him as many as I can.
What have you seen from Trace that you've liked so far?
Well, I mean, he can play. Definitely just the athleticism that he has. I thought he handled himself great. Even the response that he had of coming in for Adam when he was injured. You just like the way he was ready to go. He came in, swung the bat, played a good outfield, so he has good instincts too.
Do you hope that you can get something from Adam down the stretch that's kind of like almost adding a player? Because his past numbers, and they're pretty well below what his past numbers are.
I think that's like that with everybody, really. At this point, you're looking from what's happening from now to the end of the year, and you're not necessarily looking at what's behind them and those numbers or anything like that. You want them to feel good and be productive and help you from this point going forward. So, that's what you focus on.
With every game being so urgent, I know that you've taken a maybe slightly different tack with the way you handle pitchers. Do you do the same with hitters in terms of how many games in a row you let them go and not looking good before you make a move?
Yeah, I mean, we're always doing that. I think with hitters, it also goes, when you talk to them and you see how they're feeling, what they're working on. I think we've had a rough stretch early in the year with a lot of guys, but we've seen those guys turn it around, and I think, we have guys that can make those adjustments from this point forward, and, that have a track record, and you're hoping you see that out of them.
With a 30-year Southwest Side tradition, Huck Finn is open 24 hours to serve you with great breakfasts like the Becky Thatcher, soups, great lunches, 1/3 pound burgers, clubs, and much more. Dinners from seafood to steaks to pasta, great donuts, and ice creams. With 3 locations at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Stop in today. Huck Finn is open. Go play at Red Shoes Billiards, 12009 South Pulaski in Alsip, featuring 16 Brunswick Gold Crown pool tables, drop fluorescent lighting fixtures, and the fabulous grade of cloth. Call 708-388-3700. And now video gaming is available at Red Shoes from open till close. And don't forget, the Illinois Lottery, too. That's Red Shoe Billiards, 12009 South Pulaski. You should get to the Dirty Sock on alternate Thursdays at 8 p.m. when I do my trivia game. They have great food, great drink, great people at 93rd and Roberts Road. It's a fun place. I've been going there for years. So start coming out on Thursday nights at least. I'll see you at 8 o'clock. We'll have fun. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie does tune-ups, transmission, AC service, engine repair, tire repair, oil changes, and emission system repair. They're open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and they've done a great job for me. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie. You've got to get to Papa Joe's new location, 5900 West 111th Street. Italian beef, tetrazzini, great pizza, Parmesan, ravioli, and more. All my classic choices. New location, and they can still deliver into the city. Get to Papa Joe's. We're back in the spotlight on the streets of Chicago, on Halsted to be exact, and it's time to talk some White Sox baseball. Just a few days ago, I got a chance to talk to Robin Ventura before he had his back trouble, but it's an on-again, off-again thing, and he is okay. But he was in particularly good spirits when I caught him at New Comiskey Park with a wide-ranging interview discussing everything from his hitting to, a commercial sponsor. Let's go to New Comiskey and talk to Robin.
The weather kind of warmed up a little bit. It's tough hitting when it's cold, but it's been that way the last 2 years. When I started out and batting third and then ended up batting second, so I don't know the reason.
No explanation. What about I mean, if you're batting second, theoretically, you're getting more fastballs.
You're on a close-up here. You're on a close-up. You told me you wouldn't do that. She told me she wouldn't do that.
You know, we made the mistake of plugging in this TV set so Robin could see, and this is what happens. He starts taking over the show. But I'll hand you the mic in a second. About the batting order and fastballs, you got to be getting more.
Not really. I mean, they're really the same from batting third. I think Frank's the only one that hurts, that gets hurt on me being on in front of him, is that I'm not going anywhere. So he has to deal with that. But I mean, I had Steve and Tim in front of me no matter what, and I'm getting the same pitches.
Well, one thing about Robin that I always like, whether he's hitting 250 or 340, he seems to take the same attitude. And
340.
Well, there have been weeks where you've had 340 weeks. I mean, certainly over a short span of time. But you do take things on an even keel. And I mean, is that something that was taught to you at a young age, or is that just your general personality?
I guess that's just a general dull personality. I don't know, but that's just the way I've done it.
Well, I mean, I think it's a compliment for baseball, because this is one sport, with 162 games, you can't get 2 up or 2 down about an 0 for 4 or a 4 for 4.
Yeah, I think, it's one of those things where you can go out the next day and pick yourself back up. So, it's easier to do than a pitcher having to wait 5 days.
That's true. Well, talking about your team getting hot again, the thing that I'm trying to figure out is what element of your team surprises you. I mean, certainly you knew the pitching would come around, talented people. You got good hitters, but with Guillen and Fisk out, the amount of time they were out, who emerged to you as somebody who was maybe a surprise that you didn't expect to really play as well as they have?
I think Craig's played better than everybody really expected of him, and the pitchers, McCaskill, they've done well. And I think moreover the team leadership with George kind of taking control of a lot of things. I mean, he struggled early, but he still knew he was going to do good this year, so it wasn't something that bothered him. And I think he kept everybody going. That we can still play a lot better than this. And Pudge was still around, and he had that attitude that we're going to get better, and we know we're good, so let's keep going.
You bring up an interesting point. I mean, I've seen George here joking with our crew and joking with people, and he has a real interesting, lighthearted sense of humor that maybe some people don't see. He's actually gotten sort of a media bad rap as not being the friendliest guy, and I don't know if it's the media doesn't understand his sense of humor, but you say he's been sort of a clubhouse leader.
I think so. I think we just knew the things that we've heard in the news, but I think he's been a total surprise for the guys on this team, and I think he's a great guy, great for the team. So I think that was really a great addition when we got him. And, plus he's a great player. So I mean, there's only good things there.
Yeah, certainly somebody to bat behind you and Frank has emerged with several game-winning hits during this streak. I was showing your manager that if you win a game, 2 games in every 3-game series and 3 out of every 4, you'll win 100 games in the year. How do you think that would fare against Minnesota and Oakland?
I'd say we'd be in the running. That's really, we've kind of left ourselves in that position where we're going to have to do that. We're going to have to, win every series, and if you don't, you're going to have to sweep series. So, it kind of loses the luxury of being able to slip a little bit by our start. But I think we're playing good enough baseball that we can do that.
To wrap up, I'm kind of interested in how you feel your role has emerged on the club. Obviously you're a young player, but with Fisk and Bell and some other veterans around, you're not going to figure to be the vocal take charge guy. But being a key player in the lineup, and with a Gold Glove under your belt now, a lot of accolades have come to you earlier in your career. Do you feel a few of the young players occasionally coming over to you and looking for, maybe they're almost afraid to approach a Bell or Fisk, but they can come to you?
No, I don't think so. I just go out and play. I mean, when you got the guys that we have on this team, I don't have to worry about being some kind of leader or anything like that. I can just go play, and I don't think anybody's afraid to go up to those guys. They've kind of left the door open for anybody to talk to them, so it's not really a problem for me, because I just feel the same as when I first came up. Just go out and play, and that everything else takes care of itself.
The numbers are falling where they may. Final question: if you could kind of look into the future and pick where your club would stand a month after the All-Star break, let's say August 15th, Would you rather be in first place, being chased, or would you rather be close with a chance to take over?
I'd rather be in first place. I think we have a good enough team that we could pull away, but that's going to be yet to be seen. I think either place will be all right, and I think we keep playing the way we are. We'll be in good shape.
Well, with the dynamic duo of Robin and the Big Hurt, you'll see the White Sox putting on that move as we approach the All-Star break. And we'll be back with more in the Spotlight right after what, Robin?
A word from the grandstand where you can find everything that we wear.
Beautiful.
Great Sox clothes. She didn't get those at Grandstand on 31st.
Nice Bears outfit. She couldn't have got it at Grandstand on 35th.
Okay, so where'd you get all your great clothes and stuff?
Grandstand, just down the block from New Comiskey Park on 35th Street. So what about you?
Grandstand on 31st.
Whether it's logo jackets, team caps, accessories, or collectibles, the place to go is Grandstand. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie is great. Tune-ups, transmissions, AC service, engine repair, tire repair, oil changes. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. They do a great job for me, and they'll do a great job for you. They're quick, and they don't charge an arm and a leg. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair, 108th and Kedzie. You've got to get to Baracco's Pizza for Benkowski Trivia Night. Thursday, August 20th at 8 p.m. I'll be at 3047 West 111th Street in Mount Greenwood. Then, Monday, August 24th at 8 p.m., 134th and Cicero in Crestwood. I will see you at the various Baraccos. Make a note of these, and we will have a good time. Eat, drink, and play. See you there. Reggie's is a great place with tons of music, interesting people and staff, great food and drink at 21st and State. And amongst the cool things they have, Benkowski Trivia. All shows are now Monday at 6 p.m. Reggie's, 21st and State, a fun place. You better get to Jackie's Hot Dogs, open past midnight 7 days. 2 Polish and fry, $5.69. Gyros plate with big fries, $8.59. Big Baby double cheese, $2.85. Tamales, Italian beef, pizza puff shakes, chicken breast, onion rings, and more at 5415 South Pulaski. They have it all going on at Jackie's Hot Dogs. I highly recommend it. I eat there periodically. I love it. You should try it too. I've covered this team since 1977 and been a fan longer than I hate to admit. And I have never seen a start like this for the Chicago White Sox. Dustin, I'd like to see if you could compare this to any of your other successful baseball experiences, pro or otherwise, and when your team just got off flying out of the gate.
Maybe high school. We did pretty good, but we're just here having fun. We're just trying to take care of business every night. We're not worrying about getting too caught up on our record because it's a long way to go. So we're enjoying the moment, but we're not satisfied. We're coming every night prepared to play, and whatever happens, happens.
The Lansing Floral Shop. Call for your flowers at 708-474-1212. Huck Finn, a great wide-ranging menu, along with donuts and ice cream. Open 24 hours at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Imprint Graphics, leaders in booklet, perfect bound, saddle stitch. Very competitive pricing. Call 708-396-1010.